US $25 a year.
This one's pretty old. Find out how much anyway. Oh, good. I turn it on once a month.
Just hope it turns on.
Usually, I charge it.
Okay, so she's done. I don't know where Heather is.
Heather said she was coming back.
Let's call the meeting to order. Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board members are all here. Jenny, Heather, and Tara are excused. The meeting was submitted to the Green Bay Press Gazette on Friday, June 14th, 2024. The meeting notice was distributed on Friday, June 14th, 2024 for posting to the Bank of Luxembourg Home Office, Luxembourg Post Office, and Casco Post Office. The district's mission statement: we inspire minds, challenge students, and promote excellence. We are Spartans. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that one. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comments on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on district matters. Prior to making a public comment, individuals must announce their name, address, and group affiliation. Each speaker's comments are limited to 3 minutes. All statements are to be directed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question board members individually. Speakers should not expect an immediate response or reaction to their comments. Are there any comments? Hearing none. Our next meeting dates are July 17th, 2024 and August 21st, 2024, both at 7 p.m. and both right here in the Luxemburg-Casco High School multi-purpose room. Board administration, opening comments. Board? Nobody?
I recently had an opportunity to go on the Washington D.C. trip with Chicago. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Mendon and Mr. Hibbert because they do a fantastic job on that trip. I think that for what the students get for their time and for what it costs them, the school really could not do it a better way. You know, two of them for sure have been doing that trip long enough together that they have it very nailed down, and Mr. Manning does a great job of being a tour guide without having to hire a tour guide, and it was a really well done trip. Worth a shout out.
How is the lack of sleep on your part?
Not so bad. Not so bad. Yeah.
Yes, they do a good job. Anybody else? Board, you want to go at this time?
You want our administrator reports now?
Sure.
Okay.
We can do that.
Well, I'll go first again.
All right.
Sure.
You are the primary school.
Yes, the end of the year went well. On the last day, we had our field day, and that was very well run, and had a little glitch with a little bit of rain, I guess. I wasn't there because I was visiting my daughter in Nebraska, but they, shifted gears and moved things around, but it went very well. Apparently there were a lot of tears from the kids on the last day because they're all sad to leave, but things went very well. Then summer school is kind of wrapping up now. This is the third and kind of final week for most of it. So tomorrow will be the last day for most of those classes, but overall summer school went pretty well. And just planning for next year now.
End of the school year went well at the middle school as well. We were just chatting a little bit. We don't have as many tears from the students as they're leaving middle school. Not quite as many from the staff either. It's kind of a mutual parting. Enjoy the summer. All seemed to go well though. A lot of energy, as I told you last month. A lot of energy building up to that, and things went well. And then it's been, already working on next year. Getting the schedule ready and a variety of other details. So looking forward to the next.
So this end of the year high school, we had the award ceremony, graduation, both went well. I think the graduating class was, from recent memory, one of those classes that really accomplished a lot in their 4 years here. They were some of the first to go through some of the programs that we had, the Rise of Beings programs and Zone programs. So that was nice to see. Just kind of piggybacking off of Robin's comment about the DC, and they did the DC trip and then they turned around and go back next week for the St. Louis trip. And 2 trips, 2 weeks, no problems, perfect. All right, so we're always happy about that. So I talked to Chris a little bit this morning, and he commented. He said, "Knock on wood, this year was almost boring because there was no drama, nothing on the trip." So.
Don't let anybody else hear you say that. Graduation went very well. That was nice for the kids too.
I was gonna let Rebecca go first.
Okay.
I actually have something this time, right?
Ooh.
Well, I just wanted to update you on the new district bookkeeper and the transition. She's through the 1 month, and it's going really well. But a position like that, takes a little time for her to get to know the system and some of the processes. I know there was a budget update last month that Joe Allen presented on my behalf. Since then, we've received actually more Medicaid because there was a period where we thought there would be less. And more claims came in, MAC claims from previous years, which tends to come later and we just never know what we're gonna get. So we're looking at a little over 30,000. Received more transportation aid than what was budgeted as well. And that tends to happen every year based on how much schools are claiming, and then depending what's left for the pot of money that they put into transportation. So we never know. And that's a little over 40,000. So some good news there.
Growing trees over there, huh?
I know.
That give money. So I'd like to thank the board for partnering with Bellin Health and Bellin College last night, Tuesday night. I was given an award as part of the Bellin Health team and Bellin College team. So I'll just kind of give you some real quick statistics. We went from 2 schools, and obviously we're the pilot school, 38 kids in the healthcare academy between LC and Denmark, and they hired 48 YA students. The next year, there was 11 schools in the program, over 200 kids, and they had 91 youth apprenticeship students. This next year, we have 17 high schools in the program, and we don't have the other statistics yet, but they're continuing to push. They're a very good partner, and the experiences. 2 of our students received the Bellin Achieve Award, which means that they received like a 3/4 scholarship to go to Bellin College. So they will probably come out debt-free, which is really nice. I have a feeling it also helps that we have a great relationship with them. I might have sat on the committee, but I really didn't have any say in it. I just listened to what they had to say. But they asked if they're good kids, and I said, yep. So didn't want to be biased in that. We had our first mentor meeting with the Menominee Indian High School, and then Ashland High School for our academic and career planning. So we're mentoring them to figure out where do they want to go and how can we help them out. The other two big things that are going on is, as part of Act 20, which is the whole reading part of it, we are required to train our teachers. They have started the training for that. They already had their first session. 39 teachers are in one big cohort, and then I have another cohort of like 6 or 7 that are in a different cohort. Our reading teachers have already gone through the training, and they've taken the second training of how do I provide an intervention. They said it was really good, which we'll recommend to probably our special education teachers, EL teachers, and teachers that are really trying to hone in on your reading skills. And so we're always just trying to pilot some things, find out what's good, find out what's not good, and if it's good, we utilize it. Last thing is middle school and high school. Marcy Kuhn was here to do some PBIS and numerous other things. But for the middle school, high school, and the related arts areas, which is your Spanish, Phi-Ed, we are working on curriculum design. That's what they're working on this summer. So I'm sure they're really excited about that. Just saying.
Ma'am, anything?
I've been taking vacation, so I haven't been here since graduation almost. You know, a couple days here and there.
Well deserved. Neat.
Quick question without getting the names out. Is there the status of the Luxemburg-Casco that moving forward or staff?
I have some emails out based on the question that you sent, and I have not gotten a response yet.
They can't back out.
No, they cannot. No, it's
As
just,
long as it's cured.
huh?
As long as the issue is cured.
Yeah, no, we went through legal counsel, corrected the offer. The corrected offer was signed, and then we sent it to the title company, and we're waiting on their lender.
Okay. Next is the consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted under one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes, unless a board member requests an item be removed from the consent agenda for separate action. Do I have a motion? Motion by Dave.
I'll second.
Second by Brandy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. School liaison report.
So I'm filling in for Nina. She wasn't able to come tonight. So at the end of the school year, there was an increase in truancies. It's kind of typical. I've seen that in the last few years. On a positive note, in May, I was able to participate in the safety day from third graders at the fairground. That went really well. We got most of that day in before the rain started. Most of the kids got to come through and experience all those different stations for the career opportunities. Are there any questions on the report?
Would you say it's a typical fourth quarter?
Yes, I would. Yeah, Mia and I talked today, and she agreed that it's very typical for what we've been seeing the last few years.
Any questions? Thank you. Discuss and approve the extended contracts not to exceed the stated number of hours for William Seminar, Ross Wagner, and Norm Hibbert.
So last month, the board approved extended contracts for machine maintenance for 2 employees, for Will Seminar and for Norm. They wanted to include Ross in that, so it's just reconfiguring the same amount of hours, just divided 3 ways.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve
For
all 3.
three.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss and approve the 2025 CISA 8 service agreement.
This is a service agreement with CISA 8 for audiology services. We do this every year.
Visual also, isn't it?
Excuse me?
Visual.
Visual also, isn't it?
Whatever is on the contract.
Yeah.
When I think about CISA 8, we have deaf and hard of hearing, we have visually impaired, those are the services that we get.
Motion.
Motion's been made by Dave, second by Robin. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss and approve the pupil non-discrimination self-evaluation report.
So every 5 years, the district has to do a pupil non-discrimination self-evaluation report. We get instructions from DPI, and there's certain documents and records that we need to review to make sure we have them and to make sure that they are worded correctly, and we can just kind of do a self-evaluation on how can we decrease barriers and incidences that we might inadvertently have for non-discrimination. We take a look at some of our data. We'll look at our classes, like are there, more males than females taking AP classes, more, males and females in the tech ed classes, that kind of stuff. So that's the stuff that we're looking at. And as you can look in the summary sheet, there's, we look at policies and administrative procedures, enrollment trends in classes and programs, methods, practice, curriculum, and instruction in counseling, and pupil assessment and testing. Trends in disciplinary data and action. So, are we, are more boys getting suspended than girls getting suspended type of thing. We look at participation trends and patterns in athletics, extracurricular, and recreational activities. We also look at patterns and trends in scholarships. We look at technology, including electronic communication. So you can see that there's a lot of different categories that we have looked at. We actually started this last October, and it takes everybody doing it, and it is multiple hours. And Mike did a lion's share because a lot of this is curriculum. So he put lots and lots of hours in. Everybody else is putting lots of hours in as far as collecting the data and making sure that it was good data, and then interpreting it and looking at the trends. So we put all of that together, and we get a self-evaluation report that's here. We put it up on our website, and one of the things, it's not that the board has to approve this. I mean, we have to do it, but it's also nice that you see this and you see the amount of work that the administrators and in some cases our secretarial staff as well. I know Kelly Addison has when we're talking about athletics and the scholarships, she has specific spreadsheets to collect this data every year. So when we need it at the 5-year mark, it's ready to go. So just want you to appreciate the amount of work that's been going on behind the scenes, besides the everyday duties that they do as principals. This is the type of stuff that also sucks a lot of time throughout the school year.
When you talked about scholarships, I think Kelly said something about there were like over 264 scholarships that were given out this year to the seniors. I think that's what she said at the academic awards.
On the evaluation, one of the things that came up I noticed was the fact that the individuals no longer are in those roles. I think we talked about once before, that state mandated that we cannot put the person and then for their successor, is that state law? Because most of the people that no longer in those roles, if it said that, then we would be in compliance.
This isn't a compliance issue. This is a self-evaluation report. So it's just where can we approve? And what happened is we have not changed the documents that you're talking about because we were waiting for the federal government to finish updating the newest Title IX regulations, which were supposed to be done last summer, and then it was going to be in December, and then it was going to be in April, and actually it just finally happened. So rather than try to change the documents, then turn around and change them yet again, we were just waiting until all of this got settled. So once we look at the new policy for Title IX, we will change those names.
We're not going to be in trouble.
We are not.
Well,
No.
thank you.
question about the Title IX, the disparity between the scholarships for female and male. I mean, 67.6 for female and only 32.4 for male.
So I would look at what percentage, and I don't have this off, that this will be a high school one. What percentage of females are going to college as compared to males? I would imagine it's going to be higher on the female end. Our numbers of kids going to college is probably going down a little bit, as well as because of the opportunities with the local unions and all of the exploration that we're trying to do. And then it also requires the effort to apply. And so sometimes they don't apply.
Is there an effort made to like maybe encourage them to apply more?
Well, that's part of the,
Kelly does a
Yeah,
lot.
I was
There's a
just
lot.
gonna say, yeah.
so emails, announcements, like, without walking them down and having them do it. My only suggestion would be that the one is to let parents know that scholarships are available. I don't know if they do that or not.
Well, and we do that in kind of freshman or the new student orientation meeting in the fall, and then at the National Honor Society and the award ceremony, we also talk a little bit about those things as well. Kelly added a little 5-minute word on that. So.
Yeah, well, as a parent of a senior, I got a separate email alerting me that, scholarships are open, how to get to it on the website, so that if I wanted to, push my kid and make sure that they were doing scholarships, I had that opportunity, because I knew where the information was.
I believe the high school counselors go over that in the junior
Yes, they
conferences as
do.
well,
Yeah.
because I know Mr. Rolski did, as myself as a parent too. Brought it up on the screen, showed you exactly where on the school website they're posted, so. But yes, I have a child who I never had to babysit and did it fantastically. I think I will learn a lot more this coming year.
Good luck.
One may need more of a nudge.
Okay, do I have a motion on the self-eval report?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Jenny, second by Bob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Discuss and approve the virtual school partnership agreement.
So, it was right before second semester. We had been going with Jedi, for our, remote learning, and in January, we switched to Kiel, for the second semester as an option for students. They could either finish out with Jedi or they could move to Kiel. We decided to go with Kiel, if you remember from January, because they can offer special ed services for students online, which Jedi could not. So this is just this full school year agreement to work with Kiel to provide virtual services for students.
And also the cost is cheap. It's the same program, but it's actually cheaper. We don't have to join a group and pay $5,000 to be a part of their club. So it's just allows it.
At convention, I met with the people from Kiel. They sound like they have an excellent.
They're a really good group to work with. Yes, compared to the other end of the spectrum. If we ask them to think differently, they will look into it. They'll meet with us and do those things. So very impressed with them.
Motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Bob, second by Jenny, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Lux Farm purchase.
Jeff, do you want to talk about this?
I can answer questions, very happy.
So Deb is doing a fantastic job with bringing in Flex Farms to be able to grow more produce for our lunch program. So this is going to help increase in our farm to school programming, increase student involvement in growing vegetables used for the lunch program. In addition to leaf lettuce, we're going to begin growing tomatoes, cucumbers, colored peppers during the school year. The rapid growth system, which is the flex farm system, it increases the amount of produce that can be grown, which will help with our lunch program, help keep our costs down with, so we'll be purchasing less fresh produce. The Flex Farm units and supplies are being paid for by Fund 50, which is our food service fund. Fund 50 is completely separate than our general budget. Money that's in Fund 50 can only be used for food service items. And so this is, so this will be paid for there. Currently, Fund 50 has a fund balance of about $200,000. So very easily can fund this. Eventually, the plan is to have up to 12 Flex Farm units. So this is starting.
So what's going to be happening is that we will be utilizing the youth apprentice position or youth apprentice to work with the Flex Farms as she's working in the greenhouse. The supplies and maintenance is basically pretty easy because of the aqua organic system. So there's basically, it's all grown in water. So there's just some nutrients and stuff that we add to the water, and I think every 6 to 8 weeks they need to be flushed out and cleaned, and then you just start the process all over again. So it's a newer technology, but they're pretty cool. So, and they do grow produce very, very quickly. I believe that at 12 months we'll the Flex Farm, the pork farm, we're just on like ABC National showing how these farms are working. So it is kind of the way of the future. We did have students come down and take a look at that space between the greenhouse and the barn, and that is the place that is mapped out for these Flex Farms. Because we lock them down, they don't need a lot of sunlight. So basically, we're trying to keep the area darker. That's why we would not be utilizing that in the greenhouse area because there's too much light. So that's where that headwind came into play. As far as where the design is, as we add units as we go on, that is the space that will be utilized for the whole project.
There are growth lights inside the unit?
Yes, the growth lights come off the center, and this big cylinder, you actually lock it down around that grow light. So it's a very concentrated light because you lock it down. So it's a massive cylinder that opens, and then you lock it down for 14 hours, and then you reopen it for time.
And the power required for these growth lights is there?
Yes.
Not going to be a infrastructure inside?
Yeah.
And the idea is that you start with 3, and then if it goes really well, you just fill up?
Yes, that's the plan. We have the area sketched out. As we add units, we may need to use some of the lighting in there to actually drop plugs, but that's ultimately that we would have to do. Not for this first set, but as we continue to add additional Flex Farms, we may have to do that because of where the plugs are located. We wouldn't be able to plug them. It's a really neat process. It really is. And then, we can expand from there. Bacteria, they're great for science classes, all things like that. So, but they grow very, very quickly, probably about half the time as other growing methods. So we'll be able to produce rather quickly.
Hopefully they work well. I look forward to getting more.
Is that a motion, Robin?
Sure.
Favorite second? I'll second. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Primary school student handbook.
So last month we brought forth the handbooks from each of the schools. We knew that it was a lot to read, so that was the first time we were able to take a look at it. And then this time we're bringing them back to be approved.
I had one question on page 9, the primary one, and kind of the same one on page 6 of the intermediate. Just the doors will open at 7:20, and then we have drop off at 7:25.
I think that's a typo.
Okay, I was wondering, because the other one says school drop off
Yeah.
7:20, and building will be open at 7:25, and supervision will begin at 7:20 on the intermediate, but on the primary, it doesn't. I'm just curious on that, because what's happening at 7:20 to 7:25?
What's gonna happen is the parents are gonna drop off at 7:25, but I, excuse me, I think the shuttle buses actually will be there like at 7:20. So those kids might start entering the building in the back.
Okay.
But for the parent drop off, it's gonna
I
be
was just
7:20.
curious on the time difference, I'm like, why is that?
And then I think there was a highlighted part there that I noticed too. It said include maps, make reference to the policy or website. That's what this is, and it's already on our website. So we actually updated that already with the link to get to the maps and how to do the drop off and pick up and that sort of thing. It's what we've been doing ever since 2020, so.
So you think it's a typo for Heather to do it, 7:20, and kids will be allowed in at 7:25?
Probably. That's my guess.
That's like,
I just had a couple on the middle school handbook. Are we still utilizing Spartan time in the middle school? Okay, I just didn't see it listed in the handbook. And then the other thing was on page 13. It's highlighted in yellow right above the fees about each building site will collect parent guardian involvement data, which will be used as part of our yearly data analysis. And what data are you collecting for parent and guardian involvement? And what is that data?
I think I have that too in mind.
Yeah, it is.
I think we all do. But some of that is Title I survey data, and then also just parent involvement and satisfaction. So we do surveys to the parents.
So like when we did that big event here with the students to go through for the career readiness and all of that other kind of stuff, we put out a survey to them to find out their level of satisfaction. We send out surveys for, I know at the end of the year for PBIS, for the behavior side of things. So it's just reflecting that we're trying to be communicative with families to find out what we need to do differently to improve.
Within that, like what he just talked about with the survey, so PBIS or Spartan Way, one of the things for us to get to like the next level of our connectedness is to increase our community involvement and parent involvement. So our team, for example, we had a parent member of our Tier 1 PBIS team. That kind of data ultimately comes through some of the surveys that Mike is referring to.
And I'm the one who then administers the survey to each building to how are they doing as well. So that's where some of that data gets collected, parent involvement, and how are we doing. And it's just more trying to create a feedback loop to the best of our ability to continuously grow. Yep, no, thanks for asking.
Okay,
Just to clarify on the intermediate school, Heather texted in, students can be dropped off as early as 7:20. There's gonna be supervision from 7:20 to 7:25. The doors open at 7:25. The school starts at 7:35.
I thought we were doing each school handbook separate, so guess we're not.
I liked how it was rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the goal of redoing this, so they all kind of.
Yes.
True,
Yeah,
but
kind of
they're all
aligned them,
separate,
yeah.
yeah.
A lot.
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
my only comment, middle school and high school, your grading schedule going down to 60 as a passing grade.
So ours is going down to meet what the high school is doing, and one of the reasons for that is consistency among the three buildings. So I'll give you an example. So for a student who's advanced taking algebra with the high school or geometry with the high school as an 8th grader or a 7th grader, and then coming to the middle school. So effectively, we had kids this year who were on the high school scale for those advanced courses. On the middle school scale for the middle school courses, we had intermediate school kids who were advanced up to the middle school on a different scale because the intermediate was using the same as the high school.
Yeah, no, I get that part.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we went down to 60.
It has been at 60 for a long time, and I would say
And I guess I've voiced my concern
Yeah.
before, and I'm
I
still
would
doing
say
it.
that as we move towards target-based and standard-based grading, and we've removed a lot of the participation, the homework stuff out of the grade, the compliance things out of the grade, it's based on, it should be based, the grade should be based on what a student actually knows. Right?
So it's
Yeah.
basically just their test grades.
Test, quiz, performance
Okay.
skills. I mean, that's what a grade should reflect. So if you are failing a student that gets 70%, I mean, you're not giving them any credit for 70% proficiency. You're saying basically they learn nothing. So it's kind of, we're in between two systems. The old system of grading and the target-based system of grading right now, and that's part of the issue.
Shouldn't we maybe, no matter what, I'm not disagreeing with this at all. But shouldn't we be like any other school? Because you're actually competing against other schools with all your grade point averages and scholarships if you're going to school, your better grades. You want to be like other schools, don't you?
What do you mean by the same as other schools?
Well, if another school is giving a D and it's a .667, or another school is giving a B is a 3.0, and our A even could be, A minus could be that.
I would say this: when you look at grading scales, our grading scale is different from, you're right, from other school districts, but even UWGB grading scale might be different from NWTC, might be different from Bellin College. So when we go in power school, we have to put, for some courses, we have to utilize their grading scale because they're getting credit from that institution. Likewise, you're never comparing apples to apples because some schools have a weighted grading scale like we do. Some schools don't have a weighted or grade point average. So you're never going to be comparing apples to apples, no matter what you want to do. It's the system that we decided to go with, determines our class rank for a couple things, but other than that, it's just trying to communicate to the students what they're proficient in, what they're not proficient in, where they need areas of improvement.
Okay, then I got 4 phone calls the last day of school because there was a truck parked in the student parking lot with a Confederate flag on it. And they were wondering if that was allowed.
Freedom of speech.
Well, that's what I said too, and then they said, yes, but you know what the Confederate flag is a symbol of? It's a symbol of hate. So, what?
They should review the history.
Well, yeah.
Some people see it that way, some people don't.
Yeah, right. I mean,
You
yeah.
have to be very careful about that because you're treading on First Amendment right to free speech. And what schools have to do is when we have something like this happen, there's something called a tinker test. And what happens is the tinker test is one of the criteria is it causing a substantial disruption to the education environment? Or is it creating a hostile environment for a person? So what happens is, if because I got those calls too. I mean, the flags were over at the athletic complex last day of school, or towards the last week of school. I'm sure that wasn't just that one day. But they do have that right to do that because that's part. It's not creating a disruption to the educational environment. And people do interpret it differently. Yeah.
Now, just if the flag also contains vulgar language and stuff like that, that would be different.
It does,
Right.
yeah.
And if it was in the school building and it was, and kids were complaining about it and it was taking away from the education environment because it was causing such a disruption in a classroom, then we could do something about it. So it is, it's a very gray area, very, very gray.
Yeah, it was causing distress to the older people.
But not the learning
It's like-
environment.
Yeah,
So
I
that's,
don't know, to their,
No,
to
I
their
mean,
environment it was.
to their environment it was. And I'm not saying that we would advocate that and, you know, I mean, I heard it was like the last day of school.
Yeah,
And,
that's
you
what
know,
I was
mean,
told
so,
too.
you know, I'm like, no, we can't, we don't have cameras over, and then like, no, we cannot identify who it was. Probably have a couple good guesses, but you know, it's just, you know, and if it was during the, you know, during school, and you know, if they had something like that, you bring them in, you talk to them, you try to reason with them, you know, that kind of thing, and that's the way we usually.
Yeah, I was asked if I had driven through, and I said, no, I didn't.
Just while we're talking about trucks over there, when that, like last week at school, there was about 6 of them parked, taking up like 2 to 3 parking spots each, because they all parked on angles, no one gets the door dings. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Nia will monitor the parking lot that she can. But the other thing that you have to remember is a lot of times when those kids come in, they're coming in after the beginning of the school day because of the schedule. Some of them have late starts, some of them are coming from different programs, and she can't be out in the parking lot all the time. And if she gets a complaint about it, she'll go out. The kids do move vehicles. If they park in the wrong parking lot, she's on them for that. You know, if they're not purchasing a parking permit, she's on them for that. You know, so it's.
We had a few students that thought they were administrators in parking over
I
there.
was there the last day of school.
I thought it was kind of funny,
Yeah,
actually,
We did try that the last day.
because I knew them.
Okay, I need a motion then to approve items 6, 7, 8, 9, the student handbooks.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Bob,
Also.
second by Alex, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 10, discuss and approve the 2024 base wage increase for certified staff.
So our total base wage increase, that we proposed to the LCA was 4.12, which is CPI, which is the highest amount that they're able to get. CPI is consumer price index, which is inflation. And so we do that as a total base wage, which is not the total amount of everybody's individual contract. You can see in your packet, there's how we calculate the base wages. It is prohibited from collective bargaining to include automatic pay progressions, which are our steps, professional development, which are lanes, any kind of overtime, supplemental compensation, merit pay, performance pay. Those things cannot be counted into total base wage based on state statute. So that is what we follow when we figure out CPI. We have 155 certified staff members. What we did is we moved, in order to be able to increase the amount our beginning teachers are making so that we can are competitive with other districts, we removed step 3 and 4 from our salary schedule and moved everybody in 3 and 4 up to 5. And then we took our most veteran teachers who are at step 16, we added a step 17, which was a $2,000 increase. By doing that, you know, we have 155 certified staff. 9 people were moved in the removal of the steps from the low end of the scale. We had 82 staff members affected by moving up the higher end of the pay scale. The average salary is listed, it's about $62,859. Our median salary is $68,338. The average increase for a certified staff member is going to be $1,918. The median increase is about $2,000. And so we had originally budgeted for a 5% increase when we were seeking the referendum. That's what we were using as a projection. With the increase of 4.12, we're talking about administration. When we increase our base, we increase the salaries of all our athletics, so all of our coaches are getting an increase as well. We had support staff, $1 an hour increase, And depending on where they were in their salary rate now, it's anywhere between a 6.83 and a 27% increase. But again, this is helping make us competitive with other districts in our area. And then we have two things that we're gonna be talking about in closed session. So our total budget remaining after we have all of those pieces and all of those groups, there's $88,000 left. We do have some additional budget impacts. When we talk about like our fitness center, summer library help, those are funded by Fund 80, which are our community-based funds. It doesn't come out of our general budget. We have our youth apprentices in there, substitute aides, cleaners, food services, and increases to the bus drivers as well. That was a budget of about $12,900. And so the 4.12 was also ratified by the LCEA. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Robin, second?
I'll second.
Second by Jenny, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And then for the base wage for non-certified staff as well?
Yep.
And so certified staff are teachers, somebody that needs to have a license to do to hold their position. Uncertified is going to be our support staff.
And they were all in the same packet.
Do you just, side note here, do you know the results of the application vote?
I do not know.
That they never tell us, they just say yay or nay. Approve membership to the WIAA.
Well, the base wage
wait.
increases.
Oh,
for
yeah.
non-certified staff.
Okay, yep, sorry, I just did it as both.
That's okay.
I thought you said you did.
Did you?
did
Yeah,
both.
you both?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so that's 10 and 11?
Yep.
All right.
because you went right in and you were
I
talking
just
about it,
kept
so I
going.
thought.
I was on a roll.
Yeah,
You're saying packet, you're saying.
yeah. Okay, WIAA.
So this is just what we sign every year for membership into WIA.
I'll make one.
I'll second it.
Motion by Alex, second by Bob, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Commercial insurance.
Oh, the commercial insurance?
Yes.
Did anyone have any questions? I know I put the whole packet renewal in, did a summary on what the increases were, which I know were inside the packet as well that Chris Rasmussen gave us.
Were bids solicited from any other agency?
Yeah, not different agency besides Vizance, you mean?
Yes.
We have not done that in a while, so we could start doing that again next year if you'd like to. Sure. To other agencies.
For an agency, but didn't Chris bid out a couple different
He did to other the insurance company.
insurance
end of it.
companies? Okay. So it's the difference
So he's
between.
talking to Zance and Ann Say, the actual agent that would oversee it. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. It's probably been a while, maybe 5 years, 4 or 5.
Chris does a good job for us.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to open up.
Okay, I need a motion then. Motion by Dave. Second by Brandy, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Approve Start College Now, I believe we had 3 or 4 applications. Motion by Alex,
I'll second.
second by Bob, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Initiative 1.
So we would like to send Jane Matthews, who's going to be our new director of special education and people services, and Tyson Clawhatch, who's our new high school principal, through the Initiative 1 process. We're paying for that through a grant that we get from the state. we're also using that grant money to have kind of like a mini initiative one for, our staff members as well, to help them develop their leadership skills.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Bob,
Second.
second by Robin, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Second reading for board policies, number 16 through 33.
Make the motion to approve.
Dave?
I'll second.
Motion by Dave, second by Alex, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Turn my pages. Any information items?
Yeah, we're having a 100-year celebration for wrestling this year, August
Wow.
24th. Everybody's invited at the fairgrounds, starting at 2 o'clock. We'll see some flyers going
Is
out.
that a Saturday?
What's that?
Saturday?
That's a Saturday, yeah. Bring your families, there's gonna be bounce houses in the afternoon for kids, and, free food, free drinks, bring your own if you want. So,
That's the weekend before Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Autumn.
We're working on, inviting from all the way back that we can find, so.
Cool.
August 24th.
We also, I should have mentioned this earlier too, the fact that it was my son, but we had another Luxemburg-Casco fishing team qualify for nationals this year.
Yes, that's right.
Saw that. Which is pretty cool. 2 years in a row.
Where was the fishing event taking place at?
The state event was in, Winneconne,
Okay.
and they got beat by the Winneconne team.
Do you know where it is in advance?
Yeah, so we're going to, Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee, just outside of Chattanooga.
They should lose it beforehand.
Yeah, they're gonna go down 2 days beforehand, and the Honda drive, run the house, and.
Cool.
and we need to do something like a booster club of some sort for the fishing club, because the travel is pricey, but they don't have much for fundraising, right? So I'm trying to help them get organized in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fishing team is progressing.
They're doing well.
rapidly.
Yeah.
And that's serious stuff. I mean, the winning team last year of the nationals, the school got a truck and a boat, and the 2 fishermen got $130,000 scholarship. Wow. So it's a serious event.
Brian's been practicing every day.
You don't get that truck.
That's what I was thinking. You saw exactly where I was going.
Unless you help with some fundraising.
I'm good at that. Come on.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
couldn't you go to some sporting places and get some money for them?
I've been thinking about driving the semi around, you know.
Okay, I need a motion to go to closed session.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made, second,
Second.
ready? Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Well, congratulations, Troy.
Yeah.
This is
We will miss you. The deer will also miss you.
As long as I just keep missing them.
Yeah. But see, the deer in this area will, you know, they'll probably invite you to come back a couple of times just to make sure, you know. Good luck.
Thank you.
Would you like to take your name? You can have the name, but you can't have the plate.